undercarriage and chassis issues.
When his extended warranty provider wouldn't cover the cost of repairs, the reason shocked him.
They said it was a gray market vehicle.
And I don't think a lot of people even know to look for that.
You paid cash, signed the papers, drove it home, and then weeks later, the truck you just bought needs about $8,000 in repairs. And it's not a horror story. A lot of people actually witness this. And that's the reality in the used car market right now. So today we're going to be reacting to a case that should terrify every buyer, not all. A bright orange Ram, a warranty that actually vanished under $8,000 bill. Now stay with me and I'll show you exactly what happened, the legal debt trap the buyer fell into, and the 5 things you must do before you actually sign on any used truck or used vehicle, as a matter of fact. But before we do that, quickly hit subscribe, ring the bell if you haven't done that yet, as I try to go through these dealership happenings every single week. Now, according to this news clip I'm about to show you, Santino Perez, he finds a 2017 Dodge 1500 Ram on a used car lot. It looks clean, runs strong, has warranty, and he actually buys it. Then the engine check light comes on and the mechanic says undercarriage and chassis damage is nearly $8,000 in repair. Now, even worse, the extended warranty denies the claim. Why? The truck turns out to be a gray market import designed for Canada, Mexico, and not the United States. You're about to find out why that matters more than you think. So by the end of this video, you'll know 1, what the gray market is, and 2, why a warranty vanishes the moment the vehicle actually crosses certain borders, and number 3, how to spot the risk before you buy it. And as a bonus, I will give you 3 reasons that you can actually try to protect yourself and maybe your wallet in the future.
Imagine this. After weeks of searching, you finally find the perfect used vehicle. But after driving it off the lot, it has problems right away.
Yeah, a Tucson man suspects he unknowingly purchased what appears to be a gray market truck, and it cost him thousands of dollars in repairs. 13 News reporter Rebecca Taylor investigates the potential pitfalls of gray market cars and trucks.
It's a term that many of us have never heard before. A gray market vehicle is one that was originally manufactured for use in other countries like Canada and Mexico. They are not in compliance with U.S. emissions and safety standards.
It was such a nice truck, really nice looking truck.
Santino Perez bought this 2017 Ram 1500 Sport last June.
It was the nice color orange, 4x4 and a 4-door.
But he says safety problems appeared right away.
And it was vibrating on the freeway at like 55 mile per hour, stuff like that.
Perez took it back to the dealership, but says he was told it passed inspection. So later, when the check engine light came on, he took it to another mechanic.
And they're the ones that said that there was like almost $8,000 worth of repairs that needed to be done in the truck. A lot of...
Funniest thing about this is I will see this as first world problems, because gray market vehicles have been around since the dawn of time back in the 1990s when I was living in Jamaica, the island of Jamaica, the beautiful island of Jamaica. We were bringing in JDMs, Japanese domestic model cars, in droves. And it was not only Jamaica, it was right across the Caribbean, South America, even in Africa. We were being flooded by used cars out of Japan. And at that time, it were the AE100, the AE92 Corollas, mostly Corollas, Nissans, Hondas, to name a few. And that went on because at the time, price of new cars were so much more expensive. A lot of us just couldn't afford it. But when the JDMs began coming into the market, then a lot of people were able to afford these lower price vehicles at such excellent rates. And the banks were willing to give loans on these. So gray imports are naturally for vehicles that are manufactured outside of a particular region and then imported into a country. So just to qualify that. But here's a quick reaction as well. Color and flash matter to buyers, but the color doesn't fix the legal compliance. Now, the first red flag is that if a dealer price actually looks unusually low compared to the market, you always have to ask, where was this vehicle originally sold? And if the seller dodges the question, just walk away. And that first handshake is where your actual leverage begins.
undercarriage and chassis issues.
When his extended warranty provider wouldn't cover the cost of repairs, the reason shocked him.
They said it was a gray market vehicle.
And I don't think a lot of people even know to look for that.
Don O'Brien with the Better Business Bureau says complaints about gray market vehicles are rare, but they do happen. Federal law prohibits these types of vehicles from being sold or used on public roads until they're in compliance with federal regulations. People who buy them may find the factory warranty is void once the vehicle leaves its country of origin.
Yeah, because different regions have their different emission laws. The EU has strict emission laws, as a matter of fact, and they have different emissions hardware, different safety gear, so different software combined with different calibrations. And in terms of the federal laws, these cars must be converted to the various countries, especially here in North America, the specs by a registered importer before the sale or registration of these vehicles. And that's not optional. And in many states, a warranty can be voided once a car wasn't originally certified for North America.
It can be damaging for consumers because, again, the warranty is no good. So any fixes or anything that goes wrong with that vehicle, it's going to be all out of your pocket.
So what should people watch for? O'Brien says gray market vehicles may have a non-conforming vehicle identification number. The Ram's VIN is a standard 17 digits and appears to check out. However, the vehicle history report says the truck's odometer was reported in kilometers from 2017 to 2023 in Canada, then switched to miles around the time it was listed for auction in the U.S.
Pretty much basically demanded that I get another truck.
The dealership says the vehicle is in compliance and is not a gray market vehicle. They provided 13 News photos of the truck's VIN labels that say it was made in the U.S. Even so, they took the Ram back and sold Perez a newer used truck in July. We're told they did so at a loss in order to ensure customer satisfaction.
The truck that I have now is a 2021 with only 27,000 miles on it. I did the research on that one. It's not from Canada.
It's worth noting that true gray market vehicles can be brought up to U.S. standards. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, there are 105 businesses in the U.S. approved to perform those modifications. In Arizona, there's one registered importer located in Mesa. I'm Rebecca Taylor, 13 News.
And for peace of mind, the BBB recommends getting your own vehicle history report. We got ours for $1 and under 5 minutes online from VinSeeker. Used car buyers should also consider hiring their own mechanic to inspect it, and most reputable sellers will allow that. A pre-purchase inspection costs about $100 and may help identify potential issues.
But here's the good news. The dealer actually did the right thing after the blow up of this news piece, but that's not guaranteed. This outcome could have been a legal fight. Here's a few lessons, as I stated I would outline before. 1, ask for the title history and the import documents before you actually pay for this part or any particular gray import vehicle. Number 2, get the VIN checked against the manufacturer markets. Number 3, insist on a documented warranty that names the exact coverage and the conditions under which it's going to be voided. But here's also another life-saving purchase checklist. You have to do this every time you try to purchase a used car, especially in today's economic climate. Look at the VIN ownership and the origin report. Does the VIN show non-US origin of sale? Number 2, $100 pre-purchase inspection. Get an independent mechanic, not the dealer's friend. And don't be afraid to ask, was this built for the North American market, especially here in the United States or Canada? Get that answer in writing. Look at the warranty reading. If it says subject to importer certification, just walk away. If you insist on a cheaper imported unit, budget for conversion and certification with a registered importer. And this is not inexpensive. Always buy the Carfax or the AutoCheck and cross-check it with the seller's paperwork. Now, this story is more than a single truck. It's about how global manufacturing plus local law collide and leave buyers exposed. And you deserve better transparency. If this made you nervous, I want to hear your stories. Drop them in the comments. Tell me about the worst surprise you found after buying a used car. Now, one more technical nugget. The NHTSA keeps a database of registered importers. In Arizona, there is reportedly only one in Mesa, and that's a bottleneck. And bottlenecks equals to cost, time, and sometimes service denial. When you see a used car that may be an import, ask where the conversion was done, who signed off, and get the paperwork for that particular vehicle. Here are some final power moves. Always get pre-approved financing separately. Insist on itemized service warranty contracts and keep the receipts. They'll be your evidence if anything actually goes sideways. If you own a shop or you're a mechanic watching this, what's your take? Are import conversions carefully inspected, or are they cutting corners? Smash that like button and remember to subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you in the next episode.